Good afternoon, everybody. Today is Monday, March 13th, 2023. The time is 4:07 p.m. and I am gonna call today's meeting of the solid waste committee to order. We do have a quorum. We are all here physically, so we don't have to do a roll call. But we do have a quorum. This meeting is being recorded. The listing of matters are those reasonably anticipated by the chair, which may be discussed at the meeting. Not all items may be in fact discussed, and other items not listed may also be brought up for discussion to the extent permitted by law. So I just called the meeting to order. Would everybody be able to join me in the pledge of allegiance?
I'd like to allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So we're diving right into it. Since our last meeting on Monday, January 30th, our budget process has really processed. We are actually the FinCom and the board, the BOS next Thursday, the 16th. No, that's I'm sorry. Yeah, the 21st.
Right, it's the first week.
We'll be convening on the 21st, the 23rd, and the 28th to begin reviewing the proposed budgets. And with that, there have been a few updates in the solid waste related budgets. That is actually Department 433 and 435 that we wanted to bring out to everyone's attention. But just as a general kind of summary, where we've been in the last 18 months for all of our solid waste related costs, we have seen a almost $127,000 increase in in our solid waste expenses, most of which have been absorbed in the FY23 operating budget. When we look year to year, because in order to get a true apples out to apples analysis, you have to add the 769,000 again the FY24 department request, again the waste solid collection and disposal account to the $96,516.73 in the nutrient in the nutrient forestation department as well. And that brings us to a grand total of $866,000, which is about a $15,000 increase from FY23. When we combine those lines all back together. Thankfully we haven't seen the increases going into FY24 that we saw going into FY23, which would be very problematic at this point. Almost $1 million, about $25 million budget is just really spoken for in solid waste.
Mike, Mr. Mullin, is that a solid number for Covanta, CNES? there presently?
What,
Or were we waiting on for this? Yeah, CMAS and Comat to accept this.
yeah, the $150,000 like is a real fund number.
Yeah, that was based on the highest tipping price that we paid,
Yeah, 3%, right?
plus 3%.
Plus.
Correct. Based on the average tonnage that we had.
Right.
We did not use the pandemic year, which was elevated. We used other years to come up with the
Yeah,
tonnage.
that contract's also over.
I don't know what the expiry is on that one.
I'll
CMAS.
go into that and see
June
what
25. Or just CMS June 25.
So that'll get us through this budget, this proposed budget.
and one more.
Question, what driving the almost 70% increase in monitoring testing?
The, so that is in, that is the, so that is a DEP requirement to test the landfill, like, the older cap landfill on Fremont Street.
Right.
But we also have another landfill sort of off of Hot Street that we need to be testing as well. So, so actually last year, the last year we increased that line by an additional approximately $5,000 to do the Hot Street testing as
That
well.
Hart Street testing, is that where ICI and Zeneca used to dump?
Is it?
Yeah.
Said that's a wide.
No, it's on Elm Street, last street, the old
Yeah,
building.
yeah, so why is the town paying for that?
And not to correct you, Mike,
Sorry,
we're not
Okay.
testing it.
okay,
We did a limited assessment on it, but we're required to do a third-party overview inspection annually. So all they're doing is making sure there's no erosion, no leaching, all that stuff. They're not doing any physical testing.
That was question two. This testing and monitoring
mm-hmm,
has been going on for 20+ years. Is there any way that the DEP would allow you to, and I know it's a small number, but small numbers add up.
mm-hmm.
Is there any way to pull back on the number of or the frequency of samples? As I said, this has been 20 years and we should have enough data to perhaps go to DEP and say, gee, look, there's nothing there.
We did,
Because that was what happened.
it's a valid question. We did reduce it 8 years ago, 7 years ago, to twice a year on surface water. Now it's once a year, but the gas is twice a week. But it's a valid question though, because of the time frame that went by.
Yeah, it's, you know, a little here, a little there. And I just think this is one of those things that, as I said, it's 20+ years. There was gonna be a problem.
Yeah, we would have seen it, yeah.
There was a savings, well, a potential savings when we broke it up from the gas monitoring and the surface water and the third-party inspection we were required to do in transfer station and landfills. So it just makes sense to keep that one entity on a county contract.
And the savings wasn't actually realized when we separated them, so.
Okay, thank you.
Is that something we bid out, the contract?
So that contract is exempt because it's engineering. We did bid it out 3 years ago, Todd. And
Just three.
yeah, so that's how we ended up with the split process and a very clunky process that we had. So when going into last year, when we had to renew it, we actually just went out and got a quote from Green Seal to do everything for us. And it's a pretty all-encompassing price just for Fremont Street. It was around $12,000 a year, which was actually cheaper than what we were paying when we had it all separated out.
Where's the site on Hopkins? I don't see it.
Yeah, I see it.
Oh, that's probably why.
So when you see an inquiry that goes through something's office, they refer to it as someone should have.
Yeah.
So that's actually off of Hot Street, Pleasant Street. It's when you take the Boy Scout picture trail,
Mhm.
right after, when you're walking in, right after the apple orchard, it's that mountain you see in the road.
Does anyone have a sense on, since we begin with, Department 433, does anyone have any additional questions, thoughts, or concerns, on 433 at this point?
Are we good on trash bags? I know we made a one-time purchase last year.
Yeah, the end of 22?
Yeah, it's,
Yes.
that's plenty of bags.
To get through the end of the fiscal year, yes. Maybe this fiscal year, Brian, yes, we've got enough.
Someone hasn't increased the volume much. To,
No, it's stabilized,
okay,
a level off,
so
whatever it
that
is.
trash bag should be good. All right.
Are there any other questions with that?
Everyone good?
Thank you. So moving on, to 435, one of the things in the very first line, we have, with the recent resignation of the transfer station attendant, as we know, he was a very part-time attendant, and we're actually working with the highway department union, to explore some other options there as well, that we're in, the middle of a process there, but what we're proposing as a budget placeholder in the meantime, it's actually the hiring of, a part-time labor attendant. Do you want to talk about this at all?
So we're both options, hiring a highway laborer or utilizing the highway union process. So with that said, there's not much more to be said with that. So these numbers are just numbers to plug in at this time. The rest of it should be zero base, it's back, you can put it back up.
Yeah, no, it's actually in the packet as well. How do you get to the 19,625?
We're hoping to resolve this definitely by the 28th, have a sense of direction for the 28th finance meeting. I don't know how that plays a role tonight though. Yeah, I don't think the solid waste weighs in on that, on the personnel part of it.
So no, what we wanted to do, like, is just really bring the, bring the group up to speed. And then one of the two options that we're in the middle of, so really exploring, like, and looking at and working with the union to consider, it is like a part-time 14-hour week position. That would be a labor attendant position, and it is more than what we've been paying for just an attendant. By year over year, and the thinking was if we have actually have someone there who has the ability to do more than actually just serve as an attendant, like a lot of the day-to-day stuff, so that we've historically relied on the highway department to do, the part-time laborer would have the ability to do while he or she is there, and actually create a more efficient process.
Yeah, so I think it needs to be said that we've had a lot of turnover with that position.
Mhm.
Also, we have never captured what the highway department's involvement has been from a work or labor perspective, because without it, we couldn't operate the transfer station. So I think this is a step in the right direction to, even though it may seem like more on paper, when you actually cost it out, this might actually be a cost savings.
Right.
Question, this, proposal for part-time labor, the hours, I'm hoping, don't begin and end when it says the transfer station is open.
No,
Hopefully,
good
there's a
point.
follow-on to,
Yes.
let's just say administration, if you will, data collection, data entry, I would hope that's included.
Yes, so, one of the things we have been talking about internally as well, right now, with the 2 hours on Wednesday to be able to recruit someone. So like if we needed to recruit, yeah, like a random, 2 hours on Wednesday might, so yeah, might not be appealing to actually like someone like get 2 hours on Wednesday and so like a 7 hours on a Saturday schedule. But one, so like a hypothetical, but things we're looking at, like if we move the hours, so yeah, we moved them last year to, so from a Tuesday, Saturday to Wednesday, Saturday. And one of the things we're just generally throwing around now is what if we move it to a Friday, Saturday? So we still have a weekday priority. But we have, but we have the hours of operation structured back to back. So yeah, you get to make it, so you're more appealing. So yeah, like for someone to do those 14 hours back to back, but, so to that point, though, out of the 7 hours that the employee would work on Friday, so the transfer station, if we stick to the current structure that is operating now on Wednesday, so like all of those 7 hours, the transfer station would only be open for 2 of those hours. So yes, so all the other administrative, duties, the like organizing the whole area as well. So if there needed to be any line painting for lanes, anything like that. So yeah, all those functions would be able to done by that same person.
That's because I think we'd be foolish just to say open and close, and so, excellent.
Like as Tom mentioned, we expect to have more information on this, and exactly what our options for the union will be able to roll out, like either this or, so actually keeping everything in-house by the end of the month, so we'll update everyone accordingly. But, but what time, so why time is of the essence, so like it's for every week that goes by, so when we don't, so like actually have someone there, we're paying highway overtime for Saturday right now. So like, and that's why we're really jumping on this and making sure that we address this as soon as possible, because even though it affects, how we spend in FY '23, so also FY '24, it's also affecting the here and now in '23 as well.
Is anyone showing interest in the position yet?
Not in the labor position. So yeah, but we wanna like fully explore things with the highway union, like before we really hit the ground with everything as well. So yeah, we really haven't tried either, so.
I thought, you're talking 14 hours, is that what you said?
Yes.
And you're gonna spend 10 of that as an attendant?
9.
9. Is it the 5 hours meet his needs?
Who's he, Tom?
Yes.
Yes.
It'll meet the minimum needs, yes.
Any other thoughts on that, but
That plus increasing efficiency is gonna work out well.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah, I mean, we can talk about those other things now, like,
yeah, that's a huge piece.
that's why I asked that question.
So yes, so that's where we are with the FY '24 budget update, which is really like a good segue in to the transfer station update with Mr. Perry. And then we do have an update on the point of sale as well at the end of that too, so. Yeah, you want to take it away?
What I had looked at, the data I was going to address today was the, actually, both we picked up.
Oh, I'm sorry, I just had that wrong.
The data, oh, that's okay, the data that, I brought forth last time, involved transfer station. So do you want me to go ahead with multi-wave?
Yeah, like that's what I meant on the agenda.
Okay,
It's all
no
related,
problem.
yeah.
If I may, first of all, don't look at the first page. Okay, that's gonna actually be last. What I did, thought I'd give me, the data from, 2020 to 2022 riding a bulky waste pickup. So I broke it down to what made sense to me. And basically, in the items column, somewhere between 1 and 5 items were picked up per stop, and then 6 through 10, et cetera, pretty self-explanatory. In 2020, there were 118 stops and 439 items. Number of stops, I'm just using 2020, so the columns were 94 stops, which comprised 79.6% of all the stops. And then again, 2020, 6 for 10 items picked up, 13.6% of the stops. 7 through 15, 5.1, and greater than 16 items to pick up 1.7. That's the way those columns run. And in order to do a legitimate comparison, I think, of how many items picked up per stop, you have to look at the percentages as opposed to the number of stops, because the baseline item, total number of items picked up is different. Okay, but we could do a legitimate comparison. I think if you look at 1 through 5 or 70, well, basically, this is somewhere in the 80s, okay? And we can come back to that page, for questions at any time. If you go to the next page, I compared, when we look at the heavy-duty items, if you will, coming into the transfer station, those are the same items that I looked at in both the waste pickup. And again, it's the same kind of thing where the left-hand column under the year is the number of items actually picked up, and what percentage of the total items picked up those items were in the yellow column. And the three, I think, most significant ones are the TVs, the mattresses, and the furniture. The mattresses and furniture, by the way, are, I think, take up the most volume. Furniture, with sofas, recliners, ottoman, love seat, and couches, I put those all together as furniture. Again, if we want to do a comparison, we look at the percentage of the total, because that's fairly consistent throughout the years as opposed to the number of items, because again, that baseline number of total items collected varies. So I was kind of surprised in 2021 and 2022, it's exactly 381 both times, okay? So before we go to that top page, do you have any question on pages 2 or 3 and the way the analysis was done, or what it means?
Great job. Thank you.
Any
I
questions?
don't have a question on the
Yeah.
analysis, but considering we've had a new policy change on mattresses, do we still want to pick them things up?
I think so.
We're in the mattress business.
We are. I would
Well,
encourage.
it's gotta be more than what they're paying, for pickup.
Well,
That disposal.
that's the point to be addressed. If we go to the front page, let's go to item number 2, mattresses, okay? I mean, the charge for the mattress is something we need to address, and sticking with the concept of minimizing our expenditures in any way, shape, or form, reducing the amount of bulk that we have to have our contractor take away. But, when selling a mattress, a sticker, why don't we provide a handout? If you want a mattress sticker, here you go, here's your sticker. By the way, here's your handout, how to keep it clean, keep it dry for the pickup, because it costs so much to dispose of it. We might even want to consider it, and Tom and I talked about this, and I guess there are mattress covers available, but to hand out a mattress cover, the analysis I did, just said, suppose you had a 9 by 12 drop cloth to cover up the mattress with bulky waste bag. And, if you use one drop cloth, $2 to $3, purchase 75 drop cloths, because it's roughly 52 mattresses picked up on average for those 3 years. The price of the drop cloths would be covered by saving 2 mattresses, okay? So just a thought, okay? And the other question that I had, and I'll go back to number 1, because I wanted to address your issue first, was should there be 2 pickup fees? In other words, 1 through 5 items, maybe $10. And those 1 through 5 items comprise the majority of items picked up. However, if you've got 6+ items, you want to charge a different fee, maybe $10, because my rationale was 6 or more items, DPW has more time on location, the volume fills up the trailer or the truck, and there's more trips required, which is more fuel for additional stops. Again, brainstorming kind of thing, was just a question that came up, it's not a proposal, it's just something that I thought you might want to consider, or we can, I have no pride of authorship here, if you think it's a silly idea, then it's a silly idea, but at least maybe we could throw a little discussion in.
If you don't mind me asking, what's the procedure now? They go to town hall, get the sticker, or transfer station, they get the stickers. How is it actually picked up? Just a truck, Tom, in a backhaul that follows the truck?
No, we send I guess you will probably send 2 1-tons out with a trailer on it.
Okay.
So if it's something kind of heavy, you can just kind of roll it
Roll
over.
into
Or you still get the 1-ton also.
Okay.
It might be 2 guys per truck, or it might be 1 person in each truck, and they can assist each other.
Right.
Depending on how that strength is going.
Yeah, I mean, anything heavy had to be brought out there by somebody, not a truck.
Correct. Yes, I mean, it's hard to see, both time, Mr. Perry did have some numbers on their last assignment. It's hard to see though. Sometimes, I kind of like the number part, I'm not sure the number 6 is it. I mean, there was a lot of stops that they could put stuff in the car.
Right.
It was just VCRs and stuff like that.
Right.
You know,
The only reason
so that number helps it, because if it's essential, then you definitely will check.
Sure. The only reason I picked Willis Bryan as another explanation, because clearly that was, as you can see the numbers, the vast majority of the stops were somewhere between 1 and 5 items. And so that's why I kind of broke it down that way. It was nothing magic at all.
Yeah, it was 80 to 90%.
James?
So yeah, I think there's a lot of substance to what you provided to us. I went one step further and looked, there are mattress bags that are available in bulk form. Just a quick cursory, check, queen size mattress bag, which I think would be more effective than a drop cloth, is $5 in bulk form. So I think we can probably work it into the price or the cost of the sticker. And then we are sure that we have a mattress that can be disposed of for the number that we contracted for. So I think it's a great idea. Plus, we don't have a mattress out on the roadside, it's actually in a bag, which makes everyone realize it's trash, it's going somewhere. So I think it's an excellent idea.
How about you can go one step further and say Ace Mattress might be able to get us those bags cheaper than $5.
Yeah, this was just
Yeah.
before the meeting.
No, I'm saying we're working with
saying-
them because they want the mattress
Yeah,
bag too,
if
so.
I looked it up and it was 20, well, okay, but I'm saying right now, commercially available is $5.
They
Basically,
get
Yeah.
to show it's illegal for that in a
50
bag.
bags, 2 mattresses, safe.
So we could reduce that number of mattresses that we can't collect
Correct.
right now
Correct.
substantially.
Correct. And also, if people are educated properly, I think it reduces the confrontation with the highway people and the attendant. If a bag's available, and we can make bags available for anybody,
Right.
and, they show up with a mattress in a bag, now we know that we're not gonna have a tainted mattress. I mean, it's used, I get it, but you know what I mean.
So in that same thing is also helpful to educate and set the expectation for what is really needed and what we can only accept at the transfer station as well.
Right.
So I think people seeing them in bags on the side of the road for bulky, so for bulky waste week are gonna, so yeah, they'll be educated that this is the expectation all around now too, that mattresses are bought.
Exactly, and set the expectation at some point, not too distant future.
Agreed.
It will prevent people to come to their own conclusions, and say, this is the expectation as opposed to, I don't know what to do, therefore I will do this, and we have 1,000 different opinions on what people want to do.
2 other quick points. I think to Tom's point, people are using bulky item to get rid of things that they could bring to the transfer station in a car. That's fine, it's a service that we're providing.
We're paying
They
for it.
pay for it, right? The second thing is, I think, based on a broader discussion about having the user pay the costs entirely, I think there's enough data here, thanks to you, that we can try to figure out how to make bulky item pay for itself and plug in the values that we need to make sure that happens.
Well, when you say pay for itself, what costs are you looking to include?
All of
The DPW workers, Board of Health staff?
All of them.
I don't think you're gonna get that.
Well, we haven't tried.
Just as a quick matter of information, go to that third page. You saw that these items that are listed in 2020, well, you can see it at the bottom, it says like in 2020, these items listed well represented 66, in 2021, 71.2, et cetera. Everything else was basically onesies and twosies, if you will. There was no consistency. The only reason I used DVD, laptop, et cetera, that was on a previous data collection, at the transfer station itself. But this is, two children's pools, as I remember, a couple of a swing set. Again, onesies and twosies that I didn't want to roll up because the numbers would all be less than 1%.
It's pretty amazing that concerning the number of households that increased, that we're still at 381 for 2 years.
It's very random.
Yeah.
And it's all based on, by the way, the reference data is from Tom's data here that you, all of your pickup data, yeah.
Just for example, last year, we had one house that was like 40 items, just one house alone.
And they paid how much for that sticker?
I don't remember. I mean, it was like 40 stickers.
Right.
Yeah, historically, they weren't getting charged for us to show up. We were paying per item the same price as going to the transfer station.
Right.
If you had a transfer station pickup.
Yeah.
So it's cheaper to get it picked up at the house because you're not buying the sticker.
Right, then to go to the transfer
That's
station.
why Mr. Perry's exploring this charge way to balance. I need to go back to the mattress bags. What happens to the bag?
When it comes,
When it comes, what's the end use?
I don't know if CMRK doesn't allow the mattress to stay in the bag, then we need to come up with a way.
Careful what we're generating.
Right. And, yeah, I don't know what the waste requirements for that bag would be, but I do know that if it's safe, it can't be the difference in price between the normal mattress price and the soiled mattress price. We have to be able to get rid of that bag somewhere in between there.
Well, Renee, okay, what is the process? Bulky waste. Let's say a mattress comes in with a mattress. A mattress comes in. Right now. What happens after that? Your crew brings the mattress into the transfer station. What happens?
It's stored out of the weather in a container.
Okay. Would it be possible, this part-time employee that we're addressing, to, as part of taking that off the vehicle, remove the bag, put the mattress in storage to be picked up, take the bag, fold it up for next year?
No.
Would not?
We can't use bags.
Okay, no.
No.
Well, then can we take them off? Just
Well, that's the problem. We take it off, we become the generator. And
So we need to know what the cost to dispose of those bags.
I
it's
see.
not just the cost, we're creating a problem. I mean, because pretty soon, like Walmart, for example, you're not gonna have plastic bags exit because it's a problem in the industry and end use. So what is this bag? Is this a similar plastic? That's why I was asking about the end use.
So we need to,
I'm not worried about the labor, I'm not worried about the price, it's the end use, and if we create.
Regenerating it.
Yeah,
Well, especially since DEP wants us to have a regulation that we ban plastic bags in town.
why is that though?
so the mattress,
Why is it? Because it clogs up the machine.
Yeah.
So no one's figured out how to make a machine
Right.
that doesn't get clogged up by a foolish bag.
but we don't
And so now we
know,
all have to stop using bags because we can't fix this problem.
so the mattress bag might be biodegradable, right, we don't know. There's a very good chance it's biodegradable,
It's very possible.
which would help, would leave with the mattress, I would think.
Is there a shredder that we can buy? A shredder? No, right?
But even if you did, what would you do with the shreds?
Well, then we have to get rid of it and waste it.
I bet you it's not a lot of landfill.
What do we do with our plastic bag?
Ban it. It's supposed to be banned plastic bags in the spring now.
Plastic is not being banned because of the plastic. The plastic's being banned because they clog the machine.
That's why it's banned.
Yes. It isn't because it's the plastic.
It's the way the industry is. We're not the industry. We're part of it. Think of the rules. I'm just trying to think of a problem before we have.
But plastic bags right now get incinerated. They go in the regular trash, they get incinerated, not recycled.
So, hey,
So at the transfer station,
would I?
receiving them, they would have to put in a brown bag or a green container, and then or just put it in the compact, that goes, you know.
So we have to have trash refuse. That's
Which one, they have a bag at the transfer station.
Well, then that's what I'm talking about. Exactly, 300 a year, that's we're taking 300 mattresses. That would compact into probably the size of a lunchbox.
Are we talking about, so, are we talking about 300 mattresses? Or are we talking about the, I'm gonna say 52 on average mattresses that are picked up by week? Because when a mattress comes in, we have no control when somebody brings it in the back of the truck.
I agree with you, I'm saying use that number just because if we would promote the mattress in a bag, it could be for anyone, not just.
Yeah, just 1 second, okay?
He has Ace mattress on the line.
So, yeah, like Ace Mattress, as I mentioned, so you're on with a very, esteemed group of a solid waste, group we have here in Dayton. Like I mentioned, we were talking about the possibility of having mattresses, actually put in bags. So in order to keep them dry, and I forget your first name, sir, we met. Ace, all right, Ace.
Thanks, Ace.
Okay. So, perfect, yeah, like, would you be able to just, share Ace's view of what bags mean and any opportunities or difficulties or challenges that the bags provide for you guys on the receiving end?
Okay, so one, a lot of people put the beds in the bag, and for a couple of reasons, it's not a good idea. And then there's other ways that you can manage it to make it a good idea. So the first one is, a lot of people will smuggle wet beds, bed bugs, and beds that don't pass the recycling code for us. And once that stuff shows up to our warehouse, it's a whole process to shut down and make sure that we don't contaminate the other beds where we have customers that buy the foam, the fabric, and the other materials that we recycle. So once those beds get wet or infected, it's just not any opportunity for us, just the overcost. Because when we try to get rid of it, we have to chop them up, we have to dispose of them, and we are a recycler, we're not a dump.
Mm-hmm,
That's the first thing.
okay,
And the other thing is, it's very easy to manage one right out of a depot or a station that receives the beds, but you have to have someone that will actually go outside and inspect the bed and allow whoever brought that bed to your facility to bag it after you inspect it. Because if they can bring it to your facility, they can bag it. But if you're trying to do a curbside
Yeah.
pickup,
yeah,
if you're trying to do a curbside pickup, it's better that you kind of, and this is some of our stuff that we don't like to give away our secrets, but you can implement it in your haulers program. So your hauler, they come to you and they purchase the bag off of you. And then whoever's picking that bed up from the curbside can make a decision whether it's a recyclable bed or not. Because 90% of the beds that you get off the street, from alleyways, and very rarely, I wouldn't say very rarely, you do get a lot of people that would like to discard them from their homes.
mm-hmm,
But the alley beds are definitely not recyclable material a lot of the time. 90% of the time they're non-recyclable. And we still do it, but we have to charge way more to dispose of it. We have to charge like $90 to $100 to dispose of it.
yeah, this is really insightful, Ace.
Okay,
And
what's,
then you
what,
have to red tag it.
what,
Because once you get a bed that is wet, and again, I'm giving you
The time as best as we can.
Great, I like that. So, everything is one step at a time with this program, because it's a new program, you're rolling it out.
Yep.
So you can roll out a lot of different ways for people to work along with you invisibly. Like putting the bags in a place where they can get them and they can seal them up themselves. And if they have to, you have to red tag the bed if it's wet or if it's got bed bugs. So that bed, the customer calls you up, she says, oh, the guy came when he put this red tag on it. He said, yeah, I'm sorry, man, that bed's gonna, in our program, that bed's gonna cost more for us to dispose of it. Because when you get an alley bed, nobody wants it.
All right, thank you, Ace, we appreciate the insight, okay?
Yeah, we'll be in touch, okay? Thank you, Ace.
Who am I speaking to?
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought I said that. This is Mike Mullen from Dayton.
It was another gentleman.
This is Jim Agia, I'm the building official, Solid Waste Committee. Good, how are you?
Yeah, we keep him under wraps most of the time. That's why you didn't meet him, Ace, yet.
I would love to because I would love to grow my business and some of the ideas that we have can help a whole lot.
And that's good. We'll be in touch to follow up. We're just trying to flesh this out in that quick meeting, so thank you.
Thanks, Ace.
All right, have a good day.
Bye-bye.
So where do most people store their?
Is he off? I'm the reason he's here, I'm the one who reached out to him first. So,
You must have had an
That
impact.
was,
You made this whole family do?
yeah, that was insane, Michael, thank you for calling him, but it didn't do us any good.
No.
So,
Where do most people store the mattresses when they buy a new one and it's not taken away? Out
Usually
backyard,
outside.
yeah,
in the garage? Chances are it's not gonna be usable during a highway pickup.
right.
And nobody times it where, oh, good, they're having pickup, let's go buy a mattress.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
You'd be
But I,
surprised.
but I,
oh, I'm sure it happens,
Yeah.
but,
But a lot of the mattresses were picked up November timeframe.
right, because
That
of
was
the
when
high
they
school,
Yeah.
sold mattresses.
I didn't put a percentage on it, but the curve spiked up in November, end of October, November timeframe for those mattresses that came into the transfer station to be disposed of.
so stupid human stuff, why are people getting new mattresses in November, holiday sales?
Well, isn't that the,
School fundraiser.
the school fundraiser, the high
That's-
school?
That's exactly
So
what it
that's
is.
part of our education that needs to happen.
Now, it's becoming complicated in so many different variations of this. My opinion, you just shouldn't do curbside mattresses.
Yeah, I think it's, based on the number of people who use it, I think it's a benefit, as long as it's paid for properly.
Do we have a pre-inspection? So do we have an added fee for a pre-inspection?
Yeah, I think
It's getting
before,
complicated.
yeah, I think before we do any more, we have to find out what can we do with the bags, and then once we know that, then we'll figure out where the discussion's going. Can we take the bags or not?
So you can't sell the sticker or the bags to them until it's inspected, that's the dilemma.
Right.
And if they hit the education right, it's not gonna be a mattress anyways, it should be going back to where the other ones were for.
Do we know how many mattresses out of the number that are quantified here that we have to throw away as trash?
No, we don't have,
Curbside, no,
we don't have that number yet.
and it's not gonna be 300, the 300 is what's for the estimate for the year.
Yeah, I know,
Total.
and I was
So
talking about
it's
bag
like-
count.
Yeah,
So-
back count should be a lot less than 300.
So out of the, where is it, out of the 50, average of 50 across the board, we don't know how many that are rejected that we can recycle?
We've never rejected before.
We've never rejected one,
Yeah, because you always.
We never had to be
We've never
November
recycled.
first.
Yeah, they're never recycled before.
so we've never had a bulky pickup under the new rules.
Exactly. The whole new baseline.
So without a bag, I'm not pushing the bag theory, I think it's a brilliant idea. Without the bag, you could have a lot more that get rejected, because they're sitting on the curbside waiting to get picked up.
So it would be, if you was, you automatically rejected it, would be curbside picked up with the bag. That's the price they're gonna pay. Versus either that, or they have to go back to where they bought their mattress that they just bought.
Which is gonna become law at some point.
Yes.
I think the mattress companies are gonna be required to
So
take
your
that.
solution is forget the bag,
No. You charge them the rejected price
right,
with the bag.
with the
That's
bag.
what they're gonna pay when they go to Board of Health.
Even if it's not rejected, that's what we're
Correct.
charging.
And then we take the chance of maybe that can be recycled once we receive it.
Correct, because we know, because they're gonna, some of these people.
Is that called extortion?
That's a good idea. Some of these people are sitting on a mattress for a year, waiting for the curbside pickup.
I'm joking.
Yeah, this is serious, yeah, because they're sitting on it 10, 12 months.
So how is mattress fixing that?
It is because it takes the inspection out of it, right? That post up a little
Maybe the
bit.
DPW should do curbside pickup weekly for mattresses.
All right, so I think the answer is a hybrid. I know that from a taxpayer, you're gonna have a lot to say. But I think from a responsibility perspective, it makes the most sense.
Because they always have the option of bringing it to the transfer.
Precisely,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think,
And right next door.
you know,
That's it. See why we're such a good group, we get through it.
That's it.
Yeah.
I don't know who, might have been Tom said, they're not gonna wait a year. I'm gonna buy a mattress now, because it's bulky, because 2 weeks away. If I buy a new mattress in January, I'm either gonna bring it down to the transfer station, or I'm gonna put out the weather behind my shed until bulky weighs down, that's what I think. But to the point, you charge, if you want to make a zero sum game, you're gonna have to charge and make the wrong assumption that it is going to be contaminated by max price. And we're going into this again as part of the education process we discussed, I think, at the meeting. Telling taxpayers, you know, we're trying to have a zero sum game some years, we're gonna have excess some years. It's going to be a cost, it's appropriate funds, the funds we collect, going back in, and on and on and on.
So provided we can get rid of the bags, curbside, pickup, bulky, we provide a bag as part of the cost.
Why are you providing a bag at that point? It's
Because
gonna be
we-
contaminated.
Because we could potentially have a recyclable mattress.
At what cost? I mean,
$5 a bag.
Yeah, $5 a bag,
no, I mean,
oh, it's a third of the price.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's a
Like
third of
40,
the price,
wasn't
yeah, $40 versus 100 to change.
and if they had a quality mattress, then the effort would be made to go bring it to the landfill,
Some people
the
do,
transfer station, as opposed to,
possible, some people don't have the means to do
Yeah.
that.
Well, when they come in to get a sticker, you're gonna say, we're gonna give you a bag, but if you put it in a bag, it's gonna cost you $100.
Well, it's the same price no matter what.
That's right.
But we have.
But if you bring it to the
we
transfer
recycle that.
station, it's only gonna cost you 40.
Well, you know, here again, look at the numbers, Tom mentioned, 300 a year for mattresses. Out of that 300, you're looking at an average of 52. So, I mean, the numbers, I mean, where the origin of these mattresses are, you know, again, 3 years, 52 per year in bulky, so.
rent the van for $30, and bring it yourself.
Either that, or people come by them and they say, yeah, we'll move your whole mattress for free if you buy a new one. Or one of those places, that's all.
It comes down to education, we shouldn't be picking on mattresses, and we shouldn't be receiving them, they shouldn't be existing, we should be going back to where they bought them.
Well, we're not there yet as a society, we're not.
I have one more.
That's a strong education component, that needs to go on sooner than later.
Just to finish that up, we're not there as a society, and we have to be responsible to make sure they don't end up in not just our community, someone else's community. That's what will happen. We don't take them,
Until it's passed.
right? It'll come.
Okay, so someone brings a mattress to the transfer station, it gets inspected, the attendant gives them a bag. The person bringing it after he inspects it, doesn't give them a bag to bag it.
The bag is useless if you're at the transfer station with a mattress that can be taken. The bag's useless, because it's not going in its container in a bag.
Is it in a container?
Yes, yeah,
Oh,
we put it in a
okay.
Conex box.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, we rented a Conex box to keep the model wet
Oh, okay.
so that we could recycle it.
Yeah, the attendant,
I'm sorry. The bag is only come into play is if something's gonna sit in the weather before it makes it to our transfer station, that's all. I'll find out what we can do with bags, if anything.
Someone might be willing to buy it.
You better than my yard for a market.
There you go.
$25 can burn them.
There's a few people in Dayton that used to do that, we're still dealing with
I
that.
know.
Anyway, there's the data.
Thank you.
So we have a bulky waste pickup this year, like, so like we should probably be planning on that with this in mind.
So it's on the agenda for the next Board of Health meeting, because we gotta get everybody's holiday vacation schedules and figure all that out.
If, I hate to do this because I've learned throughout my life not to do it, but I'm going to do it. I will volunteer. If the Board of Health or somebody in the town hall get key talking points that we want to get out there, then I will write up a proposed educational document. And then we can decide how we want to disperse it to the community. But I need, from your expertise, and Todd, you know, the key points.
Oh, we can do
We
that.
need, and I will put them together in a fashion. for the next meeting.
Oh, that's next on the agenda, we're gonna vote.
I volunteered once and I said, I do swear.
Endeavor to volunteer.
We might be able to volunteer.
Thank you for your efforts, what you bring to the table is valuable.
Yes.
So thank you.
So that is a good segue into reorganization.
Well, actually, before you do that, what's the latest on the point of sale?
Yeah,
Yeah, good point.
Tom,
Mr. Ferry?
So I did a little bit of work, and also recently the town's been introduced to self-service also, which is interesting to help us save money on phone services and devices too, which is very very appealing, yes. And that's good name devices too. So long and short, I looked into the Unibank, which town hall uses for the multiple offices already on a point of sales, but that's on an online service only, right? But we're interested in a device at the transfer station where we can create a checkout, and swipe the card. And so through Unibank in particular, if we already had the device, we just need to add the card reader, which is $75. The type of device is to be determined. It's probably gonna be something like this. So you can add a SIM card to it and it'll have its own service.
iPad, basically.
Right. Unibank shied away from the iPads, we need something a little bit more memory.
Yep.
Because it's not dependable. Unibank actually wants us to put the internet into the transfer station and create a Wi-Fi and run the device that way.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty certain we should be able to get this with a SIM card and run it right there at the transfer station.
Yes.
So that's where we are, we're looking into it. And as far as, a little bit more homework has to be done with it, which by the way, there was an article in the last special town meeting to fund this. So there's funding available, that's not a problem. So where we are with Unibank, why it still looks interesting to me, if we can get a device with its own phone number, I should say, not have an internet line, I'm trying to avoid a monthly fee for other things. Like EPOS, they have a monthly fee of $54 flat rate on top of what you're doing.
Right.